Hello, I am Bobby Hurd, and I am glad to be a member of Shiloh. Growing up, we went to church. And my family went to church every single Sunday without fail. Rain, sleet, snow, sunshine. We were always in church. As a matter of fact, I was even baptized at the age of 9. In the Hurd household, it wasn't a matter of choice. If you were in that household, you went to church. And of course, as I grew up and quote, grew up and got grown, I started kind of fading away from the church. When I went to college, it was, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of philosophy that just kind of changed my mind a little bit. And in spite of the fact that I went to a church school, it was a requirement for me to go to church there at least twice a week, once during the week and then on Sundays. And it was ironic that on Sunday, if you didn't go to church, you didn't eat because you got your meal ticket for the day at church. But still, that wasn't enough to keep me in church. And as time would go, things were going well. And I just, as things went well, I got further and further away from church. And then things started kind of falling apart in my life. And, things started happening. I just started having a lot of issues. And I remember saying to my mother one day, I just feel like I'm out of control. The whole thing is out of control. And she sat me down and said a couple words that actually caused me to change. She says, the problem is that you're in control when God should be in control. And that got me to thinking. It got me to thinking. And yeah, I didn't jump right back and go right back to church, but at least I started thinking in that area. And as God would have it, I met a young lady who ended up being my wife. And she kept talking about this young, vibrant pastor that was just starting at her church. And, I guess I put that in the back of my mind. And the interest started swelling up again. And so our first date was to go to the Seven Last Words ceremony in Baltimore, the Baltimore County Seven Last Words, and Pastor Brown was one of the many speakers. So I got the advantage then of not only seeing Pastor Brown preach, and he was very dynamic. He was everything that she said he was, but I also got a chance to see ministers from many of the churches in Baltimore County. And just then the feeling of the friendship, the camaraderie was something that I can always remember. Well, to cut the story a little short, I came to Shiloh one Saturday. That's for some reason I was in the Edgemere area, right on Sycamore Street, and the men's chorus was rehearsing for Men's Day. And as I walked past it, not being that interested in being involved in Men's Day, Pastor Brown jumped out and says, "You're invited. Come on in." And I said to Pastor Brown, "But I'm not a member." And he says, "You don't have to be a member. You're still welcome." So then trying to get out of it, I don't sing. I even scare myself in the bathroom. And he said, "Don't worry about that." So I got in there, and immediately I was just taken by the brothers, the friendship and the love there. And I participated, even with my non-singing self. I participated in the Men's Day ceremonies, and I decided to join Shiloh after that. As fate would have it, I was living down in Prince George's County, southern Prince George's County, and it was a long trip. I mean, I passed through Prince George's County, Washington, D.C., Howard County, Montgomery County, Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County, and twice in Baltimore County. And one day it just says, why are you doing all of this traveling, through the week? So I decided that I would move closer to Baltimore. And it was my blessing to not only move closer to Baltimore, but also I asked my sweetheart who introduced me to Edgemere to get married. And we got married. I sold my house in Prince George's County and moved to Baltimore. And I was able to start attending Shiloh on a much more regular basis. When I came in, I was fortunate enough to be involved in discipleship. And that discipleship class that I was in was something to behold. Out of all of us, there was 3 of us, including myself, who did not become a deacon or a preacher. And some of these men who were in discipleship with me are out having their own churches right now. So that was a very powerful class. But the whole time I went through discipleship, I felt very, very, very comfortable. And in Shiloh and the Ecumenical community, it seemed like everybody I met was related to each other. You know, it was just family all over the place. And even though I'm not related to anybody by blood, coming here in Shiloh, I just felt as though I am related to people by the blood, and that's a wonderful feeling. Oh yeah, sure. So I'm still passing hundreds of churches as I come back and forth to Shiloh, but as long as Shiloh has its doors open, and I am able to come, I will be attending Shiloh. And Shiloh is celebrating its 116th anniversary. And I will stand up and say that I am really proud to be part of a legacy that has existed for 116 years. Something must be going right here in Shiloh for this to happen. I will say that I have been blessed. I have been blessed to see what God has done for Shiloh and for myself. I've grown tremendously in the past 116 years, and I am excited and I am committed to what is going to happen in the future.